join us? Welcome to the Integrative Psychiatry and Wellness Programs, Tai Chi and Yoga. Nice to have you here to practice with me today. Let's come up to stand for Tai Chi. So you can have your feet shoulder width, the knees soft. And as we practice today, remember, you're giving yourself a gentle, pleasant focus for the attention that's physical to really ground the awareness here. But again, it's slightly repetitive. It's not going to consume all the attention necessarily. So your attention may go to habitual preoccupations. And every time you notice that's happening and you bring it back to just the sensations and the breathing, that's great practice. So just practice bringing attention to what we're doing while we're doing it. That's the practice. And moving and approaching the movement in a very kind, easy, gentle, relaxed way. So let's start with swinging arms, as we often do. Step back with one foot, keeping the foot at shoulder width, and see if you can rock into a little bit of momentum enough to carry the arms into what's called swinging arms. So you don't have to over lean forward and back, and you certainly don't want to be pulling up from your elbows. You want to get that very relaxed, easy swing so that the experience feels effortless, pleasant, and relaxing. Part of what will help that to happen is to keep the knees soft and keep them at shoulder width. You keep going. I'm going to move my orchid over just enough to not bang my arms into it. See that the facial muscles are relaxed. The shoulders are relaxed. And see if you can sense into the soles of the feet against the floor with every step that you take, every natural step, nothing too big. And at some point, let that start to settle. No jerky or fast transitions, stepping forward with the back foot, back to shoulder width, pouring the weight into the other foot, stepping back, and then giving just enough swing that starts to carry the arms with a little bit of momentum. See if you can track the breathing. And is the breathing easy and free? Nothing extra. If it's easy for you, let the breath be through the nose. Not so that you're sniffing, but drawing the breath back to the base of the throat. So it's just an easy, natural, comfortable breath. And of course, if that's challenging, you can open the mouth. And then at some point, let that start to settle. Stepping forward with the back foot back to shoulder width. We'll take opening shoulder, lifting heel. So imagine a bubble of energy underneath the arm, floating it up. So it's effortless. It's just floating up. It's riding on that bubble, real relaxed. And it rides you up so high that it pulls you right onto the ball of that same foot as arm, and you can sense a diagonal across the body, something short of a stretch, and then that elbow starts to soften. You can feel the energy underneath the hand. that starts to settle down and you pour the weight onto that foot, and then the bubble starts to rise underneath the other arm. And again, it pulls you right onto the ball of that foot, and then it starts to settle down. Notice when the weight moves across the waist and when the weight is poured onto your other foot. And then that empty foot arm starts to float up, pulling you right up onto the ball of the foot, that diagonal across the body, something short of a stretch, staying within the soft limit, nothing pulling you out of alignment. In this opening shoulder lifting heel. Staying with, what does this feel like? And can I experience this in a way where it almost feels like I'm not doing anything? Take all the extra effort out. Now, the next time the raised arm starts to settle down, cross at the wrists, let those knees be soft, and as you press the floor away, that bubble starts to rise up underneath the arms. Again, they just float on top of the bubble, and then that bubble expands, opening out the arms again, something short of a stretch. This is called painting circles. And you can imagine the paint spraying out the tips of the fingertips. As the arms come down, the knees soften more, and again, the bubble starts to rise between the press of the legs and the float of the arms. And it rises and then expands. So again, it's not a doing, it's simply working within the space around you. Being moved by that bubble. And all the while, with all that upward floating, there's a real groundedness. There's a real sense of being rooted. And that grounded, rooted experience makes it feel that much more secure and stable to experience that float. And it adds to the ease that we experience in the whole upper body. Arms have been described as wings of the heart. You don't want them to feel heavy. You don't want shoulders that are beasts of burden. You want to feel that lightness. And part of it is just feeling that solid foundation underneath the feet. So we're switching the directions of the circles now. Moving slower than the speed of habit, just to call attention, conscious attention to, the body's experience can often be so unconscious. Making it conscious. This time as the arms come down, knees soft, push off the legs, swing from the waist, side to side, turning the four corners of the shoulders and the hips from side to side, and letting the arms be free so they just hit against the sides of the body like the clapper of a bell. Letting that back arm come high enough to hit out against the kidney. And experiencing that front arm stimulation to the stomach, the liver, the stomach, and the spleen. Nice stimulation to all those internal organs. ringing the temple bell. Let's let that start to settle down now. Slowing it down. And now allowing the hands, the arms to find the edges of that bubble, knees soft, feeling as though the tail could draw all the way down to the floor like the third leg of a stool. So it's a very stable base for the upright spine. And then holding on to that bubble, turn the waist to the side, and the bubble starts to float up. So all you've got to do is hold on, pressing out with the legs and the feet, feeling the floor beneath the soles of the feet, and then allowing the arms to be floated up by that ball in these heavenly circles. Going up on one side, down on the other. Sense the energy within the arms, within the hands. Sensing that we can just follow that heavenly circles movement. Nothing to do, just ride on it. Now the next time the arms are up, that heavenly circle has floated up overhead, turn and go the other direction. Noticing any sensations that accompany the movement. Again, how can you tweak it? How can you move in a way that makes it as easy as possible, as few fibers fired as possible? And the next time the arms are overhead, let the elbows be heavy, turn the palms towards the face. Smoothing the chi, sensing that energy between the hands and the whole structure here of the body. The fingertips turn down, the knees soften more, and pressing out and up. Opening and releasing something short of a stretch. Then turning the palms in. Again, sensing that energy as you smooth the chi. Knees soften, opening out. Feeling that expansiveness, and then smoothing the chi, washing down the structure of the body. Time as the arms come down, pausing here, seeing that the knees are bent, the feet are shoulder width, knees are bent so that you can still see your toes, not too much. And you've got that third leg of the stool, the tail drawing all the way down to the floor. And sense that bubble of energy underneath the arms and allow them to be floated up on that bubble. For the hands to come up and over the top of the bubble, and then to settle back down. So the palms come down, the knees soften more, and then once again that bubble floats the arms, floats the hands up. and then settles. Beginning Tai Chi. Watching the experience of the breath as you take these Tai Chi practices. Riding up on that bubble one more time. This time as the palms start to float down, bring them a little closer in towards the midline. Pressing off the legs and the feet. The bubble floats the hands right up in front of the heart, and then the bubble starts to expand and open. You just allow the arms to be opened up, something short of a stretch, and then starting to close. Bubble releases in and down. And then once again, the bubble rises up underneath the arms, underneath the hands. Expanding out in front of the heart. And then there's that closing, that in and out, that opening and closing movement. So much like breathing. With the rhythmic nature. And the two parts of the cycle. Time as the palms start to close, imagine a magnetic charge between two of those palms. And turning at the waist, take the palm facing up and draw it back. Let the eyes follow the back hand. Your front palm is facing forward. Then turn your front palm up and push forward with the back hand. As the back hand starts to push forward, the front palm withdraws. And you take that palm facing up all the way back, turning your front palm up. The front palm withdraws as the back hand pushes forward. Follow with the eyes, follow the palm that's withdrawing to the back of the room, and then turn your front palm forward and push forward with the back hand. Repulsing the monkey, eyes following the back hand, turning the front palm up, let the food withdraw. You're repulsing the monkey, taking his banana away and pushing him away. Withdrawing the food all the way and then feeding someone behind you instead. Turn your front palm up, here monkey, but then that back hand is pushing him away and the food is withdrawing. The eyes follow the back hand. Front palm turns up, back hand presses forward. Eyes follow the back hand, front palm up, back hand pushes forward. Now let this side to side movement become a little less clear. You don't have to have the front palm specifically up, but you're just turning the waist from side to side. And letting that movement of your palms be a little more free. Now the next time your back hand starts to come forward, find the bubble. Finding the edges of the bubble with the arms and the hands. Then pouring the weight onto one foot and letting the other hand, turning at the waist, letting the other hand come up in front of the eyes, letting the bottom hand push clouds out of the way. The top hand is those clouds that are covering the eyes. covering what the eyes see. And then the bottom hand becomes the top hand. It becomes those clouds obscuring the vision, and the bottom hand pushes those clouds to the side, pushes them out of the way. The bottom hand becomes the top, becomes those clouds. The bottom hand ushers the clouds to the sides. And then again, you can make the movement a little more free, less scripted. Thinking of the free-flowing clouds, the effortless quality of the movement, and then finding the bubble, interlacing the fingers. Take the interlaced hands in front of the heart, turning the palms to face up, pressing palms to the sky, something short of a stretch, and then letting the elbows soften, letting the knees sink, letting those elbows be heavy as the palms naturally turn to face in. And again, pressing out with the legs, pressing out with the feet, and pressing palms to the sky, something short of a stretch. Taking one more round of this practice, pressing palms to the sky. This time as the palms come in front of the heart, separate the hands, cross at the wrists, and with soft knees, push and pour from one foot, one root, into the other. Maybe as you pour the weight into one foot, step out a little extra, and again, push and pour. And the next time you pour the weight onto a foot, make a gentle fist, draw that elbow back, making an L with the other thumb and forefinger, and looking out over that arm between the thumb and forefinger as you draw the bow, then moving across the waist, knees soft, crossing at the wrists, and then drawing the bow to the other side. The elbow draws back with a gentle fist, thumb and forefinger outstretched, looking out over the outstretched arm, moving across the waist, crossing at the wrists, and drawing the bow. Sensing that pushing and pouring. Observing where the gaze is. And approaching the practice with effortlessness, making it as easeful and effortless, pleasant as you can. And then letting that go. And taking the inside hand down. Let's actually pour the weight into one foot, step in just back to shoulder width, and let your inside hand press down. The outside hand presses up, joining earth and sky. Something short of a stretch, and then that top hand carves around the bubble. The bottom hand finds the bubble, the arm, the hand, and then the hands switch, pressing down, pressing up, pressing the floor away with the legs and the feet, and then carving the outside of the bubble, finding the bubble with the bottom hand, and again, switching the hands as you join earth and sky. This time as the top hand comes in, see that your feet are shoulder width. Find the edges of the bubble. And scoop. Scoop out underneath the bubble. Let your hands come right over the top, turning the palms over and pressing down. Pressing palms to calm the mind. Scooping. Pressing gently down. And now opening the circle for healing. The arms float out and up. Palms turn towards the floor. You sense that settling action underneath the palms. Down through the full length of the structure, this body. Opening out. And settling down. Okay, noticing how you feel. Gently shaking out. Shaking the wrists, the elbows. You can hold on to a chair or a wall and shake out a foot, leg, and the other. Then brush out, find the tip of the tail and just brush out to the sides. Holding the sides of the waist. Stretch out the tops of the feet, the ankles. Opening ankle, turning hip. All right. So we'll close the Tai Chi practice there. And if you'd like to stay for yoga, you can get your yoga mat and a chair. Okay, so we'll start sitting. If you've chosen not to work with a chair, you can sit cross-legged, you can kneel, or you can sit in a chair like me with the heels directly under the knees, the hands on the legs with the elbows relaxed in at the sides of the waist. Take the hands to the chair seat and use the press of your hands to get a little more grounded in your seat and your feet and send some upward flowing energy up the length of the spine, making the neck long. Then rest the hands on the legs again, maybe close the eyes or settle the gaze down. And at first, simply witness the natural rhythm of the breathing. You can close the eyes or look down, but you want to have less visual distraction. Notice its pace and its depth. And see if you can keep the eyes quiet enough to see what's behind the closed lids if they're closed, or to keep the gaze soft if they're open. Now we'll add a little visualization in what's called left-right breathing. Bring your attention to the sole of the left foot, breathing in and up the left side of the body, up to the crown of the head on the left side, and out and down the right. Down from the right side of the crown of the head to the sole of the right foot. Breathe in and up right, and out and down left. In and up left, out and down right. In and up right, out and down left. In and up left, out and down right. Continuing this way, you breathe up one side of the body and down the other. Back up the same side you breathe down from, and down the other side. Going up and over, down and up and over. The next time you get to that part of the cycle where you're breathing down the left side of your body, down into the sole of your left foot, you can discontinue that practice, letting the breath flow freely, experiencing what that's like. Notice how you're feeling right now, physically, quality of the mind, what's on the mind. And you can either stay seated or you can stand up for some sun breaths. So the feet are hip width. Let's take the inner edges of the feet parallel. And as you breathe in, sweep the arms out and up, lengthening up the sides, extending the spine with the reach of the arms. Breathing out, open the arms out and down. Breathing in. And breathing out. Two more. No hurry. This time taking the same start of the sun breath, breathing in as the arms float up. Breathe out, hinge from the hips and fold forward, lightening your heels and bending the legs to keep the back and the legs comfortable. The head drops, and as you breathe in, lighten the heels, sweep the arms out and up. Breathing out and folding forward. Head hangs, breathing in. First distinction from Tai Chi is inverting the blood flow, letting the head drop down. Using gravity to have certain effects on the body of changing circulation is a big part of yoga. This time as you fold forward, stay down, keep the head down, let the head dangle. If it's uncomfortable to do this with your hands down, you can bend your knees, keep your hands against your legs, and hang the head. So see if you can notice any changes to the breathing when the head is down. And as you breathe in, float the arms out and up, reaching up overhead. Breathe out, open the arms out and down, maybe closing the eyes for a moment to let the blood drain down from the head towards the heart. We'll take a side bend. Again, we're working to have a supple spine, so breathing in, reach the right arm up. Breathe out, reach it up and over to the left, extending down into the left leg and foot. Once you're stable in the pose, give a little lift of the heart to brighten the heart and lengthen the spine in the side stretch. As you breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, open the arm out and down. Spread the toes and breathe in, take the left arm out. Breathe out, bring the left arm up. Breathe in, root down and lift from your lower belly. Breathe out over to the right. And again, getting stable in your base, feeling the feet, and then brightening the heart, lengthening the spine, letting the breath flow. As you breathe in, reach up, side bending the spine, forward folding the spine. Breathe out, lower the arm back down. Now we'll back bend the spine in half wheel pose, hands on the lower back with the thumbs on the outside of the waist. Maybe take the feet a little wider, but see that you're targeting right behind the heart rather than sinking the chest and pushing forward from the lower back. See if you can stay in your legs, lengthen the waist, lift the heart, and either draw the chin down to get that action or let the head hang off the heart, looking down towards the nose and taking a few breaths here. Then breathe in and lift from behind the heart. Breathe out, wrap the arms around, interlace the fingers, and press into your upper back, keeping those shoulders away from the sides of the neck. Now press through the legs, bring the upper back in, squeeze the elbows in towards the midline, so you're getting really grounded and lifting the heart. Your armpits will deepen. Feel your legs and your feet as you breathe in, take the arms up. Breathe out all the way up, lengthening up the sides. Feel the press of the legs and the drawing up from the outsides of the waist, right through the armpits, right into the base of your index fingers. Now take the eyes up to brighten the heart. And as you breathe out, open out the arms, relaxing them back down to the sides. Keeping the joints flexible. It's another part of yoga, so roll those shoulders in their full range of motion. Shoulders are not a very stable joint. You can see how huge a range of motion they have. Let's reverse the circles. Relaxing that. Take the right arm on top of the other and give yourself a hug. So you're stretching that space between the shoulder blades. Maybe you're reaching to hold the inner edge of the shoulder blades. Now you can either take the elbows up as you breathe in and down as you breathe out, or you can pick up the forearms if you've caught above the elbows and touch the backs of the hands or the front of the hands, taking the inner wrist forward for eagle pose. So either way to stretch those rhomboids, that's the muscle between your shoulder blades. Now bring the inner edges of your feet to touch and bend the knees, sit down like you're skiing or you're about to sit in a chair, gazing forward. And you can stay right here, or you can, with your right arm on top, you can take your left leg on top and touch the toes down towards the floor in a balance pose, or maybe slip the foot behind the standing leg. Taking a few breaths here, and as you breathe in, on your next breath in, place the raised foot beside the standing foot, sweep the arms out and up, and breathe out and open the arms out and down for the second side. So you'll either take your right arm under your left, passing the forearms, palms together, or you'll reach around and crawl your fingertips towards the inner edges of the shoulders, taking your elbows up and down to get that stretch. Or if you've taken this eagle pose position, taking the underside of the elbows forward, the inner wrists forward, bend the knees and sit back, again like you're skiing. Cross, if your left arm is on top now, your right leg comes on top, and you can stay here just touching the toes towards the floor or slipping the raised foot behind the standing lower leg. But this is a seated balance pose. Another way to do this is with the standing foot right beside a wall. So the heel is almost touching the wall, an inch or two away. When you bend the knees, the lower back will come in contact with the wall. You keep your shoulders away from the wall, and you can try it so you can feel where the balance point is. Let's bring the raised foot to meet the standing foot. Sweep the arms out and up once again. Breathing out, open the arms out and down. We'll take the legs apart for triangle pose. So holding the sides of the waist, take the feet apart. With your heels lined up, turn the right foot out and the left foot in. Turn your belly towards the right leg. Take the right arm up. Breathe in, press with the legs, reach with the arms, lengthen the spine. Breathe out, hinge out over the leg. And when you've gotten as far as you can get, bring the hand down and press out against the leg. See if you can avoid your knee. And lean the shoulders back out in line with that leg. And let your belly roll down so that right knee stays tracked over the middle toe. Then hold the outside of the right ribs with your left hand and turn the ribs. Not the leg, not your belly, just the ribs. And then draw up from your left elbow, reaching the arm up. If there's a shoulder thing, you can hold the side of the waist and just turn this way. So you choose. You just want to have a way to turn your torso. So the leg stretching poses of yoga all work to, over time, help you to sit seated cross-legged comfortably, so you're sitting on the bottom of the hips. And breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. And over time, it frees up a lot of muscles in the hips and the hamstrings, the quadriceps, so that the body is just a more comfortable place to be. Turning the belly towards the left leg, drawing energy up the legs like you're sucking water up straws. Take your left arm up and use the press of the legs and reach of the arm to get a long spine. Breathe in, breathe out, reaching out, lengthening out, and lowering the hand. Pressing out against the leg to get more length through the spine. So really grounded in the legs and the feet, long spine. turn the ribs, and take the free arm up or hold the side of the waist and roll the shoulder back. Let your breath flow. Now lighten the bottom hand and breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. Hold the sides and turn the feet. We'll take warrior one pose. Bend the front knee and step the back foot closer to the left side of the mat so your feet are about hip width. And use the outer edge of the back foot and the ball of your front foot to roll your belly over that front leg and pull the underside of the hip back and under you. Bend the front knee, stopping the knee right over the heel and pushing weight into your back foot. Bringing that whole left side forward and the underside of the right seat back and under you. Take the arms forward and up, breathing in, breathing out all the way up. Now, wherever your arms are, there's no special place. See that the reach of the arms helps you elongate your spine and that you can push off that back leg and lift from behind your heart. Taking a few breaths here and bringing the whole left side forward again. Just a few breaths. Then breathe in, start to straighten. Breathe out, straighten all the way. Now hold the sides or reach back and hold your elbows, your forearms, and start to fold forward over the front leg. Underside of the right hip back, back of the left hip forward. Long spine, bending the front knee as much as you like. When the head comes down, breathe in, take the head and heart forward, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. Hold the sides of the waist and turn the feet for the second side. That's called side or flank forward fold. Bend your left leg, step the back foot closer to the right side of the mat and square forward. Bend the front knee, stopping the knee over the heel and pushing weight into the outer edge of your back foot, and from there, squaring forward again. Take the arms down, forward, and up. And again, connect up the press of the back leg to lifting the heart. Few breaths. Bring the whole right side forward, that little extra. Very open airway. Warrior one, breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. Holding the sides of the waist or switching the forearm on top if you're holding elbows or forearms. Squaring forward once again. Start to fold forward over the front leg. Bending the knee to stay comfortable and relaxed so you can soften into the edge of the pose. Let the head drop forward. And as you breathe in, take the head and heart forward, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. Turn the feet forward. Line up the outer edges of the feet so they're parallel with one another. Take the thumbs on the flat bones of the lower back and draw down. Take the elbows back. And breathe in, lift from the lower belly, press with the legs. Breathe out, lighten the heels and fold forward. Bending the legs to stay comfortable again. And place the hands against the legs above the knees, or you can bring the hands down to the floor. Hold the legs and let the head hang forward in spread feet pose. If your hands are down, use the press of the hands to bring the chest towards the legs. Natural breathing. Now lighten the heels, hold the sides. Take the head and heart forward. Breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. Walk the feet in. Okay, we'll take a seated twist. So if you'd like to take it in a chair, sit at the edge of the chair seat with the heels right under the hips. Take the left hand to the right leg, the outside of the right leg, and bring the right hand to the chair back with your elbow dropped down so that back shoulder is relaxed. Breathe in, press with the feet and the seat, lift the heart. Breathe out and use the pull of that back hand and the press against the outer leg to turn the heart towards the chair back. Let your heart bubble up like a fountain. Let the head float. Maybe turning the head as well. And if you're doing this on the floor, you'll make a ledge by bending your right leg, extending your left, right hand back behind you, pushing the floor down to get that length through your spine again. Left arm up to the same effect to get long. Breathe in, reach up, and breathe out, hug the knee with the arm to help you lift the heart and turn towards the chair leg, or maybe hook the arm over. But if you do, don't let the arm boss the knee. Push the knee into the arm to turn towards the back and to ground that side of your seat. And using the push of that back hand to lengthen the spine, softening the belly, and breathing in this posture. Twists are another great way of keeping your spine supple. And release. Okay, taking the other side. If you're in the chair, holding the outside of the knee and bringing the left hand to the chair back. And again, if you're on the floor, the left leg is bent, the right leg, the back of the knee presses down, the right foot is flexed. You can reach up with your right arm, push off the floor with your left hand behind your seat. Breathing in, lift from your belly, and breathe out, hug the knee, or hook the arm over and push the knee into the arm. Walking the back hand back. You can bow out the left ribs, and then work to elongate the spine with the press of the back hand. Breathing into the twist. You're also massaging and stimulating all the belly organs. And release. Now, if you're in a chair, you can simply fold forward by sliding the hands down the legs and hanging the head. And if you're seated, hold the backs of the legs above the knees and pull back against your legs to lift your heart up until you could almost feel like you could back them. Draw in and up from your pelvic floor and your belly to stabilize the back, and then walk the hands forward as much as they want to, taking the elbows down into the outsides of the legs, holding the feet and hanging the head. And of course, some of you will straighten your legs. Some of you will work with bent legs. You choose, but release and round. Let your lower back round and stretch the back side of the body in what's called west side stretch. Breathing in, walk the hands up. Breathing out all the way up, always calming and relaxing to take a forward fold. And place the chair at the foot end of the mat. If you have one, like to work with one. Sit sideways to the front legs of the chair, and then spin yourself 90 degrees to bring your lower legs up onto the chair seat. Letting the eyes quiet, placing the hands on the belly, and staying there, or if anyone would like to, floating the legs up. You can tuck your hands underneath the tail to support your back, if that's helpful. And you don't need straight legs here, but you want a little blood flow down from the feet and the lower extremities. So you're inverting the circulation again, this time in your lower body. So yoga works on the circulatory system. It works on the organs, stimulating and massaging. It works on keeping the supple spine. But its commonality with Tai Chi is that we want to move in an effortless, easy way, softening and releasing into various poses, and always a relaxed approach. Okay, if your legs are up, you can lower them now, letting the arms roll out and letting the legs rest on the chair seat. If anyone prefers to lie flat, you can move your chair to the side and lie for a closing relaxation. So I'll come up to sit, but you'll stay in your relaxation posture. You know, everything we do leaves a residue, leaves a sensation afterwards, some kind of consequence. And you might see what this practice has left you with, how the body feels. What's the quality of the energy like? What's the quality of the mind like? Is it distracted, agitated? Is it focused and clear? And doesn't matter. It's just like watching the weather. See if you can go back to sensing the body just like you did in all the other postures. Notice what part of your body calls attention. And then stabilize the attention by following the experience as the breath flows in and out. How does that feel? And did your attention go to the tip of the nose, to the airway, or to the belly, the chest? Now, if it's comfortable for you, take it down to the belly. And see if your breath moves the belly. It expands out like a tube of toothpaste being pressed from above on the breath in, releasing on the breath out. Imagining that diaphragm, the major breathing muscle, shaped like an umbrella top, separates the heart and lungs from the stomach, dropping down and flattening to draw the breath in, draws right into that vacuum. Pressing on the tube of toothpaste and then drawing back up into its umbrella top shape and pushing the air out.
Your video is gone, Debbie.
Oh. so you can give a stretch. If you're lying on the back, you can roll to the side and come on up to sit. Thanks so much for joining us for today's mindful Tai Chi and yoga. This is our last one for now. We're going to reduce our offerings in the month of August, but we'll continue on Mondays with our wellness breaks, and that's 12:15 to 1, with naturopath acupuncturist Crystal in Montgomery and myself leading a few mindful movement sessions. And we'll continue on Tuesday mornings with the 8:45 to 9 mindful moments, mindfulness and positive psychology. So thanks for joining us.
Thank
Nice
you.
to
So